Thank you, thank you. I hope everyone's been enjoying the music of Alton Jack and the Caribbean Rhythms. Thank you very much. Good evening and welcome everyone to the 35th anniversary of the National Night Out. We're going to just do things slightly differently today. I want to introduce Captain Melendez, and then we want to go into our elected officials. They'd like to say a few words for you, and we have something special in store for two officers. Captain Melendez.
Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to 35th anniversary of the National Night Out Against Crime. It's a celebration where community and NYPD come together to support each other and get to meet each other and talk to each other. It's going to be a fun-filled day. It's a beautiful atmosphere, backdrop, beautiful weather. We had it last year. We had a phenomenal time. And this year looks like it's going to be the same. We want to welcome all the elected officials that are here right now. We want to thank Mark, Community Council President, and the rest of the board members for the great job they do all year round supporting the 84th Precinct. We want to thank the community leaders, elected officials for their hard work and dedication and support for the 84th Precinct. We want to welcome the community. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here right now. It's a partnership between NYPD and the community, and anything that we set our goals in mind to, we definitely can accomplish it with the help of the community and our officers. I want to thank the community affairs officers, crime prevention, members of the 84th Precinct for their hard work and dedication day in and day out. And that's it. Enjoy the weather, the food, the atmosphere, good band, and God bless you.
I'd like to now introduce to everyone New York State Assembly Joanne Simon.
Let's give it up for Mark Gelb, Captain Melendez, our musicians, all the men and women of the 8-4, and to you, the community, for coming out here again this year. I'm taking off my sunglasses because it doesn't look good in pictures, just saying. So tonight is a great night. We actually have a little breeze here at Pier 5. Picnic Island, and that's good because no place else in the city has any breeze. I just want to let you know. I've been to other places because today is a day that we really celebrate. This is the 35th anniversary of National Night Out, and it has been such a wonderful success and such an annual event bringing people together. And I am always happy to be out with community, visiting with our precincts and our community and the different precincts in my district on National Night Out. And tonight we have a very special guest, one we don't always have, but we're just very lucky to have with us today our Lieutenant Governor of the state of New York, Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul. And so I'm going to introduce her now. She's a real fighter for women. She's a real fighter for families. The women in the state legislature really respect and rely on her to help us with our agenda to improve the lives of women and children in the city and in our state. And today, actually, is Black Women's Equal Pay Day. Let me say this again, Black Women's Equal Pay Day, which is the day that for Black women who earn 63 cents on the dollar have to work until to make the same amount as a comparable male. For white women, it's in April. And for Black women, it's in August. And for Latinas and Native American women, it's even later in the year, which tells us about pay inequality in our country. And so I'm really grateful to have such a strong fighter for women here with us to celebrate National Night Out and also join with us to celebrate Women's Equal Pay Day. Thank you. Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you very much. First of all, you are so fortunate to have such a strong voice for you, representing you in our state capitol with Assemblymember Joanne Simon and Senator Brian Kavanaugh, my partners in government. Let's give it up for them for the work they do, representing each and every one of you in our state capitol in a very, very powerful way. Believe me, when they speak, the governor and I listen. So thank you for your leadership. Also, Captain Melendez, please give the gratitude of each and every one of us who feel protected and can go to sleep every night under the security of knowing that the men and women that are under your watch are there to protect us. And I thank you because we should never, ever take for granted the sacrifices that all of you are willing to make on our behalf of your communities. So let's give a round of applause to Captain Melendez and also all the members of the 84th Precinct. Mark Gelbs, thank you for convening us on this event and many of the other activities you undertake throughout the year. 35 years. Was anybody on this spot 35 years ago? I'm gonna say it looked a little different. I don't know that we had these magnificent piers and all the people strolling here and the families, but what a transformation we have seen in Brooklyn Bridge Park just in that time frame. So I'm happy to be here to celebrate this on behalf of Governor Cuomo, but just also for the families who are starting a new tradition of bringing your children here to celebrate and feel connected. And regardless of all of our differences, where we come from, whether we're new immigrants or been here a long time, we are all part of the New York family. And that is reflected so beautifully here tonight. And I want to thank every one of you for coming out and celebrating our diversity, our community, and our police who protect us every day. So thank you very much on behalf of the governor and myself. Thank you.
Senator? Thank you. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. I appreciate it. Now we have before us, we have New York State Senate Brian Kavanaugh.
Thank you very, very much. It's really a great honor to be here. You know, this is happening tonight all over the city. At least 70 different communities are getting together tonight to do the National Night Out just in New York City. And of course, this is a national event and people are doing it across the country. As a state senator, I represent 11 of those gatherings tonight. So this is number 5. But it is really great to be out and come out to each community and pay my respect to the great work that each of our precincts are doing. You know, the 84th precinct has, I think it's fair to say, come upon some new challenges in recent years with the park and the many, many people, not just from this community, from all over Brooklyn and really all over the city that have made this a destination. So, you know, we really thank them for putting in the resources and doing the work to make sure that all the things that happen on this park, which has been a work of this entire community, but really very much the police play a role in making sure that it's accessible, that people are safe, and that people can get in and out smoothly and enjoy the wonderful space here. You know, my father was a police officer for 33 years in this city. And I think it's fair to say that for those of us who are New Yorkers over the long term, we've seen some very tough times in the city. We've seen many things get better over time. The Lieutenant Governor was referring to the fact that 35 years ago when National Night Out started, I'm not sure you would have wanted to stand right in this particular space where I think you might be in like a rotting piece of wood or something with the old piers. But it's very important. We've done well in communities like this, keeping people safe. We've done well in New York, I think, in making sure that we have a good dialogue between communities and police departments. But it's very important that we don't take that for granted. Our police work well because of their training and their professionalism and just the sheer effort they put in, but also because we in the communities work with our police to make sure that there's a dialogue, to make sure that there's mutual respect, and to make sure, frankly, that if things are not, if there are different things we want to see, different services, different needs, that we communicate that. That's what the community councils are for. That's what our community boards are for, and we as elected officials all play a role in that. So it's a great honor to be here. I think I'll wrap it up. I do have a proclamation which I will not read to all of you, but it speaks of the great work of the precinct and of this important night. Thank you all for the opportunity to speak with you, and let's get back to the party.
Thank you, Senator. Tonight, we are honoring 2 officers for their dedication and outstanding service and commitment to our community. I'd like Captain Miller and Captain Melendez, please come up. Because she has to get out in 5 minutes. Okay. So, without further ado, please come up. So tonight, like I said, we are going to be honoring 2 community affairs officers, and it's a surprise to them. So Julius Hudson and John Kenny, can you come forward? Woo! Julius, John.
You start with him.
Should I, does he know?
No. Yeah, here is now.
I'll trot down and get him.
Yeah. So Captain will introduce John's honor, and she will read hers, and then we'll do ours.
Yeah, today we honor 2 officers that are central part of the 84th Precinct success. They work hand in hand with me, and they're dedicated, outstanding service. We want to honor you guys, Officer Kenny, John Kenny, and Julius Hudson, for the great work and commitment.
I'd like to reintroduce Joanne Simon.
So, you know, we're a little loosey-goosey here sometimes. So I just want to say, on behalf of, okay, thank you. I'm getting the signal to take off the sunglasses. That on behalf of the Assembly, we have a award of special merit for Police Officer John Kenny and Police Officer Julius Hudson. And I want to say that I know these guys since long before I was in the State Assembly. And they are like the best officers. They are so good with everybody. They are here at every event. I can't tell you how many, you know, in recent years we've been marching a little bit more over the Brooklyn Bridge, and they are always, right? They are always there and always helpful and always working with everybody. So we really are so lucky to have both of them, and I would just like to give you the Assembly Award of Special Merit, but also the Lieutenant Governor had to leave because she has other more things to do to get tonight, and I'm trying to read this. I didn't think it's right. So here's a proclamation.
84. Yeah.
For the 84, there's 2 of them?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Okay, so, you know, we're all family here, right? So these are proclamations for the 84 and for the 84 Precinct Community Council, and these are the award of special merit for our police officers, Julius Hudson and John Kenny. So we could do a little photo op here, guys.
Thank you, Ken. You guys in? Yeah. You should get into it. Got it? You should get in the shot.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Say when.
Okay, thank you.
You all set? Marvel.
All righty. Great.
What else?
Thank you. We appreciate them more.
We appreciate that.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce now David Johnson from the Brooklyn Borough President's Office of Eric L. Adams.
Yay!
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. This is my first year actually being a part of National Night Out with the Brooklyn Borough President's Office, but I wanted to thank the 84th Precinct Council because just working with you day to day, you having meetings inside of Brooklyn Borough Hall, as well as working alongside Captain Melendez, Captain Miller, also P.O. Kenny and P.O. Hudson have just made my life easier. I actually handle I'm the director of operations, and they just make my life easier in terms of providing the much needed service that we have around Brooklyn Borough Hall. Anytime I call them, they're a phone call away, and they don't hesitate to call me back. I'm not going to take up too much time, but I'm just speaking on behalf of the Brooklyn Borough President, which I know he carries the same sentiments. And I know that when he actually reached out, him being a former police officer, a former captain in the force, knows that the hard work and dedication that you guys provide day to day is not easy to do. We deal in public relations just as well as the community affairs deals with public relations. And it's not an easy job. It's a tough job. So I tip my hat to you. I thank you. And I thank you for making my life easy at Brooklyn Borough Hall. And I hope for the next 3 more years that we'll continue to have and foster a building relationship, and life will just be easy and grand for us. And I do have some citations, but I also know that there's also a gentleman from the Comptroller's Office that wishes to speak. So I'll digress until he actually brings forth his proclamations, and then we'll jointly do proclamations together as the Senator and the Assemblywoman did, right? We can't leave the city out, right? All right.
So with that, let's bring up David Wiley. I must be drunk by now, right? David Wiley.
Thank you, Mark. I'm here from Congresswoman Nydia Velasquez's office. The Congresswoman has a rather large district. She's got 14 police precincts in her district. So she can't be at all of them, but she wanted to send her regards to Captain Melendez and all the great work he's doing here in the 84th precinct. And this is probably the nicest spot of any of the events, I have to say. Also, wanted to give special recognition to our police officers. The work they do is incredible here in the neighborhood. And also I wanted to point out that I have my 10-speed from 1974, and it was registered in Washington, D.C. and expires in 1975. So I'm ready to get that updated here and get it registered with the 84th Precinct. So from Congresswoman Nydia Velasquez, thanks for everything you're doing.
And now from the New York State Controller's Office, representing Scott Stringer, is Dylan Hewitt.
Good evening, everyone. How are ya? Thank you so much for having us tonight. It's great to be celebrating National Night Out with the NYPD and precinct councils across the city. I'm here on behalf of City Comptroller Scott M. Stringer. Our office knows that every single day you work night and day to keep our streets safe. And together, every person here today is sending a message that violence and crime is not welcome in our neighborhoods, not now and not ever. And here in Brooklyn, we're celebrating the security of our community. So on behalf of the Comptroller, thank you all so much. Thank you to the NYPD officers, especially John and Julius, who are working so hard day in and day out to make New York a safer place for all. Thanks so much.
This minute, I'd like to bring up Lomani Lopez Bravo, and then welcome back to David Johnson. And together, we're going to give awards to John and Julius.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Councilmember Stephen Levin, I would just like to take a moment and to acknowledge the 84th Precinct, Captain Roberto Melendez, Captain Tyrese Miller, as well as our community affairs officers, police officers John Kenny and Julius Hudson, who I must say every day that we have an opportunity to work together. I can't say that there's any other precinct that we work with within the 33rd Council District where our community affairs officers, as well as any of the NCOs, any of the officers that we deal with, have as much gusto and energy for the job and drive every day. So I want to say thank you for that. Every day that you come to work and you help the people, you serve and protect the people of the 84th Precinct. Thank you for that.
And just quickly, I just want to add before we take the pictures, we also have a citation for Mark I know that's without speaking that he should definitely receive a citation. And I won't read the whole citation because I know we're pressed for time, but I want to read the most important part. And it says, whereas on behalf of all Brooklynites, I salute Mark Gibbs, 84th Precinct Council President, for working closely with NYPD 84th Precinct to ensure our communities are safe. I commend him for all of his efforts to enhance community police relations and bring back a true sense of community. And I thank him for all that he has done to touch and improve the lives of many, helping to move our communities forward as one Brooklyn, because we all are one Brooklyn, as the borough president says. So how are we being remiss? One Brooklyn, everybody. One Brooklyn. Come on, let's say it together. One Brooklyn. See, you thought you were being left out, huh?
Thank you. Yes, I felt left out, and now I don't. I'm speechless. Thank you. Thank you. But now it's not over for John and Julius.
Right. Lieutenant. I'm sorry, Captain. I apologize. No. John, you want a boost?
No complaints, not today.
I'm retiring.
Good?
Good joke?
Thank you. I'd like to now introduce everyone to New York Police Deputy Commissioner Susan Herman, Collaborative Policing.
Excellent.
There you go.
Excellent. Well done.
Takes me a while, but I get
Well
it.
done. You got it. Hello, everybody. So I have a proclamation from the mayor to read, and it's very long, but I'm going to read some of it because some of it is really important to keep this day in context. So, this is from the mayor. Whereas last year was the safest year in modern New York City history, thanks to the incredible service, professionalism, and dedication of the New York City Police Department and its steadfast commitment to reducing crime throughout all 5 boroughs. This progress is due in large part to our city's transformative neighborhood policing efforts that encourage residents to work with police officers in common cause. Now in its 35th year, National Night Out Against Crime is vital in building greater trust and fostering understanding between our communities and law enforcement. I'm proud to join the National Association of Town Watch to kick off this year's event in New York City. As our neighborhood policing vision deepens and residents continue to work closely with police officers, we will not only help to stop crimes before they occur, we will transform our city to be an even safer and fairer place for all people. Under the leadership of Commissioner O'Neill, the NYPD has continued to raise the bar and remain resolute with its commitment to improving public safety and setting a global example with its service. And National Night Out offers a unique opportunity to pay tribute to our men and women in blue. I'm proud to join in applauding all of this year's organizers and participants as we continue to support New York's finest and celebrate all they do for America's biggest city. Now, therefore, I, Bill de Blasio, Mayor of the City of New York, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, August 7th, 2018, in the City of New York as National Night Out Against Crime. Signed, Bill de Blasio, Mayor. So, we kick off this day one more time. I hope this goes in the precinct where it belongs, okay?
I'll hold it over here.
I know you have lots of festivities, you have got lots of performers. Every year I've come, this has been a wonderful event. So I wish you a happy night. I tend to stay for a little bit. This is my home precinct, and I'm proud to be here. So thank you all.
Very nice. Let's take a little. Thank you. Thank you. You want to take a couple of pictures?
John and Julius of the 84th Precinct Community Council, we would like you to come up and receive this award. In appreciation and acknowledgement of your outstanding and dedicated service to the community. Thank you. We appreciate this.
So we can take a picture right there.
Thank you. From the District Attorney's Office, John Watkins.
Thank you, Mark, and good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name's John Watkins. I'm from the District Attorney's Office, Eric Gonzalez, and I'm here representing him, and he sends his well wishes to you. The DA tirelessly is working through the community, even this evening, making the rounds at many of tonight's National Night Out events. I keep looking over my shoulder and hoping to see him, but we're still not over the event yet, and there's still that possibility. But I'd like to thank Mark Gelbs and Cheryl as well for their tireless efforts in the community and in the 84th the Precinct Council, also Captain Melendez and all of the officers of the 84th Precinct. This is my third year at the National Night Out at this location. We're always blessed with a wonderful evening. I see many familiar faces that I see in the Precinct Council meetings and also the officers of the 84th. The DA has just now really instituted his new transition team. The community will begin to see the effect of that with new initiatives that he will be presenting and keeping Brooklyn safe and working tirelessly to have more seamless transparency within the Brooklyn DA's office. So we want to incorporate the community in a lot of our efforts that we're able to do. Once again, thank you so much and have a wonderful evening. Take care now.
Thank you, John. We appreciate that. I'd like to introduce Oscar Jonas from Velmet Montgomery's office.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. My name is Oscar. I'm from State Senator Velmet Montgomery's staff, and I'm here to present this state proclamation to the 84th Precinct and the Community Council. We gather here, National Night Out, to celebrate a partnership between our community and the police department. It's about improving the quality of life in our city and throughout our communities. And we owe a debt of gratitude to the police and to the volunteers of the Community Council. And as a senator staffer and as a father, I am grateful to this kind of communication, this kind of camaraderie, and this kind of partnership. So thank you to the 84th and the Community Council and to everyone here tonight for this celebration. Thank you. Oh, absolutely, sir.
And now I'd like to have Rabbi Levinson from Congregation Mount Sinai come up and offer us a prayer for the community. Rabbi Levinson.
So I'm grateful to be here. Being a native New Yorker, growing up in the city my whole life, I have a deep respect for the New York Police Department and all the work that they do tirelessly on watching our streets, making our streets safe. And tonight is about community, and in my studies today I came across a little quote from the Dalai Lama that I think is apropos of this gathering today. So the Dalai Lama teaches, "We must conceive of ourselves as part of one community. We must support that one humanity through our own spiritually based community and not put our own community ahead of that one of humanity. If we want a better world for our grandchildren, we must act now. We can't continue to just regret. Change will come from education. A sense of wholeness is a necessity. We must move from I to we." And so tonight this gathering is a joyous gathering, and it's really about moving from I to we. And so my blessing for everyone here, and I hope that you all bless me back, is that on one level, may our police department, may the people who work tirelessly, may they be always safe. May there be protection for you guys always and for your whole crew. And we are all very grateful for the work that you do. And then what does it mean to move from I to we? So my blessing is that may we learn that when we look at each other, we don't see an other, but we see a reflection of ourselves. So that when the whole world can see their own reflection in another person, take responsibility for that other person, we move to be one whole community. And when we function as one whole community, the whole world will lean a little bit more towards peace. And so as we enjoy the rest of the day and we mingle with everyone, just recognize that we're all part of this Earthiness project together, and we are all grateful to be here as one community. Let us enjoy it.
Thank you, Rabbi Levinson from Congregation Mount Sinai. Thank you. So, we actually have gone through a lot of the program, slightly out of order, but let me just say, if you haven't already started eating, we have two areas the south side, the north side. There's plenty of drinks for everyone. We have from two groups, Blink Gym and a group called Find a Baller. And in the north side of the park, just a couple of yards up, they're going to be doing a few demonstrations. Find a Baller is going to do basketball skills and drills. Blink Gym is going to go through a few different workouts for you. I suggest you go there. They have some surprises for you there. We have face painting if any children haven't already done so. We have crime prevention, who will, if you have an iPhone or if you have a bicycle and you want to get it registered, they will do that for you. At this point, I'd like to reintroduce, well, our next band is not ready as of yet, so if you give it some time, go eat first, yeah, get a full belly, and then we'll be listening to music in a few minutes, and then we'll have just a little more discussion. But first, eat and some music.